Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome to the Protect Accent interview.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Goody. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure to have you, Jacqueline. I'm so honored. Just like I said to Diane, I feel so honored to have you on this interview and to gain useful insight from your perspective on accentism. But before we proceed, can you please introduce yourself? Who is Jacqueline A. Haynes?
Right, okay. Who is Jacqueline A. Hines? Well, I'm a mother, a wife. I'm an emotional intelligence coach and leadership consultant. I'm the founder and chair of the Society of Emotional Intelligence here in the UK and Europe. And I'm also a board chair and international liaison for the Society of Emotional Intelligence International in the USA. I've got quite a few hats on, but I remain humble. I'm soon to be an author. I've written a book.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few things under my belt, but I'm grateful and thankful, but I'm me.
Thank you, Jacqueline, which is why I feel honored to actually have you on this interview today
Thank you.
because of your level of expertise and your wealth of experience and when it comes to emotional resilience and cultural intelligence. And the topic that we're going to be talking about this morning is building the resilience to rise above accentism in the workplace.
Okay, yeah.
We know that accentism is an issue,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to find out from your perspective what accented speakers can do to rise above the stereotypes, the discrimination that they face day in, day out in their work environment. So the first question will be
Mm-hmm.
regarding job interviews. 28% of Brits actually feel discriminated based on their accents, and that has impacted on their confidence.
Right.
How do you think they can build, because this can have a knock-on effect, and you start developing phobia for interviews because you're thinking, oh, my accent again, they're going to knock me down or, reject me based on that. How do job seekers develop the confidence um, actually to rise above absenteeism and go for this job interview with confidence and boldness?
Right. Okay. This is thank you, Goody. This is a kind of tricky one because not everyone feels confident to speak about the fears that they have with their accents. That's one thing. Going for a job and being able to articulate yourself because you've got an accent is going to be a big barrier and a fear. So I would encourage anybody that's actually going for interviews to um, find some kind of training intervention or a coach that will actually coach them through interview techniques
Yeah,
and then share pointers with them. But also get them to embrace their accent and not be feeling fearful or inferior around a panel because as we've quite rightly sort of like spoken about before, people across UK have different accents as well. I may live in London, but I do not have a East London accent. I was
yeah,
actually born in Bedfordshire. So people often say, well, where are you from? Your accent. And I said, I'm a Bedfordian. I'm from Bedfordshire. But if you speak to my children, they've got East London accents. My husband has got a Sheffield accent, so he's from Yorkshire. So, embrace who you are first and foremost. If you feel that you're going to feel like you're on the back foot on any interview, get prepared, find somebody that can support you, coach you through, showing you the presentation styles and techniques that will help you to overcome and be the best person that you can be in an interview situation. That's what I would suggest.
yeah. Thank you very much for that, Jacqueline.
Mm.
Because research also showed that 80% of employers actually discriminate based on accent. And like you said, all you can do is your best. If
Yes.
you've prepared and you've done your best and at the interview, that is what you can do.
Mm.
Um, but
I
when you
think,
come, yeah, go on, sorry.
yeah, I think the other thing to actually close the loop around your interview techniques, and also to sort of like pick up pointers that you can use for yourself, is to ask for effective feedback from the interview. So if you're not successful in the interview, ask them, can I have, some feedback, some pointers that I can build upon?
Yeah.
And, there you can kind of like gain a bit of understanding of why you didn't get it. They may not come out wholeheartedly and say, well, we couldn't really understand, because we asked you a couple of questions and we couldn't quite understand your response because of your accent. That would be discriminatory.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, but getting feedback and actually sort of like working through that. But as I said, working with a coach or doing some interview techniques with somebody who's got that background experience that can share some pointers with them is going to put you on a good road to actually finding out how you come across to other people and how you can actually perfect your interview techniques as well and feel
Thank you.
comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Jacqueline.
you're welcome.
That is for a job seeker, the question that we've just dealt with
Mm,
now. But how about the accented speaker in the workplace? There are evidence that suggests that accentism have impacts on mental well-being.
mm-hmm.
No,
It,
on mental well-being and even general well-being. How can the worker, the employee, actually navigate through this web? Remember, accentism is just one part of discrimination that people face in the workplace. They may be already facing other kinds of discrimination. So add accentism to that. How can they build that resilience to rise above accentism in their workplace?
mm. That's a good one. Question to ask, Goody, and it's something that I've actually come across in my time as a human resource development specialist within the healthcare arena. I actually worked closely with a lady from Nigeria who had a thick Nigerian accent, and she was actually a trainer. So what we did was, because she voiced her fears and she was being held back, which wasn't fair, but she was very good at her job and she was very good at the skill in presenting. It was just how she presented. So what we did is we actually wove my experience in with the experience that she had, and we co-delivered. So I actually coached her before we actually went and did the training,
Yeah.
and then she was able to actually do the training on her own, and then now and again I would dip in for different bits that she wanted me to deliver, but that actually helped her to build her confidence. So being able, again, having somebody that you can actually go to either coach you, support you, or sort of like tell you like it is, how you come across, and help you to see what other people see, but also not see it as a barrier, see it as a challenge. And we all like a challenge, don't we?
Yeah.
So, if you're able to rise to the challenge, you can overcome some of these things despite, and as you've quite rightly said, there are other discriminatory factors that maybe sort of like this individual may be facing. So it could be racism, it could be other things, disability. You look at the 9 protected characteristics, there's quite a few things to choose from. But in this respect, within the workplace, there are training and development areas, there are support functions. All organizations have people that coach. If you can't find one inside, find somebody outside. There's an old saying that my mum used to say, in every enemy camp, there's always a friend. So there's always somebody that will support you along your journey to help you, empower you, motivate you to be, a better version of yourself and come across in a more effective way without feeling inferior. And I will say that all day, every day.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Jacqueline.
Mm,
Well, ascentism is just like coming up the ladder.
Mm,
It used to be like hush hush. People weren't bold enough to voice the discrimination that they face due to accentism.
mm,
What more can employers do? I mean, in that example that you gave, you supported,
mm.
I don't know whether she was your employer or your colleague, but you supported her through that
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
What more can employers do? Or where can employees go inside the organization to seek for help?
Well, I think because there is no one go-to area in an
Yeah.
organization. This young lady, she actually worked in the area that I worked in. I didn't directly work with her, but you know, when she came to me with you know, her concerns, and she told me what she had to deliver, we actually worked out that there were elements that I could actually work with her without it being so obvious, that I was supporting her and helping her to sort of like overcome these barriers that she was facing. Because, you know, she was getting a lot of backlash and she was actually going for positions, but I think she was actually told that they couldn't understand what she said. And that was a big knockback. But you know, by working with her, I was able to sort of like support her along her journey. And she went on to excel, and she's a lecturer now. So I'm really pleased about that. So she's not only training people, you know, sort of like from junior, she's training people in university at a higher degree level. So, you know, and it's nice to be able to see somebody, you know, flourish and grow in that respect. So, you know, within the workplace, if individuals are concerned, they can raise these things, these issues, concerns that they have with their line manager as part of their appraisal, as part of their development, ask for certain development. But it's always good to sort of do your due diligence and find out, you know, where you can go, who you can go to, or a particular program where you can sort of like get supported, and then come with that evidence and say, look, I understand X, Y, Z, but, you know, I believe this will help me. You know, can you support me as my line manager? So, you know, managers have a duty of care for their staff.
Yeah.
And this is one way of the staff member actually, you know, going to their manager and saying, look, you know, you're supposed to look after me. I'm asking you to look after me. This is what I want to do. I understand, but I want to be better. I want to be more clear and concise when I come across, if I'm delivering or if I'm interviewing or if I'm just generally speaking, you know. So yeah, be bold.
Thank you. Very rich insights there, Jacqueline. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So we are in the digital age.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is gone digital.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that voice AI, voice
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence, is non-inclusive when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to accents. Do you actually believe there is a gap in the market when it comes to inclusion, the inclusion of accents in AI?
Yeah, I believe that, you know, in a lot of things that they have out there, it's not one size that fits all. And within the AI arena, they can program. So it's down to the programmers that actually put these parameters in place. And if it's somebody who is um, white, who speaks the Queen English and doesn't speak any other language, they will code it according to themselves. So
Yeah,
to be more inclusive, just like when you go on some of the websites where they may have a link to say, we've got it in French, we've got it
yeah,
in Italian, you know, view this website in Chinese. They should have that element coded in within the AI arena in order to sort of like accommodate the accents. It can be done,
yeah.
it should be done. Let's see if it will be done. Yeah.
I mean, I think the BBC is pioneering this now. I think they are running something on accentism,
Mm,
and which is it's good to see that. Like you said, I just hope that the big tech companies like Google,
mm.
follow suit and do something about this because it's alienating people that don't speak with a particular accent, and everybody want to feel included in this age of technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you're going to be a progressive organization and see your workforce as your assets, I would encourage organizations to look at more emotionally intelligent and culturally intelligent ways in including the workforce, because they are their best assets, you know, and they should see them as that, regardless of where they come from. Inclusivity in the workplace is a big thing now, and not just a key word. It has to be not only in word but in action. And then in
Absolutely.
action, they will get the buy-in from their workforce, and the workforce will then move the organization more forward in more progressive areas and initiatives. That's my take on it anyway, but that's what I believe. And it
Yeah.
can be done.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jackie. And that brings us to the end of this interview. Thank you for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much, Goody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.